It's safe to say that 2010's Avatar: The Last Airbender tanked at the box office, so when a new live-action series was announced, creators would have been eager to not make the same mistakes again. However, there are a few things the previous movie got right, which Netflix might consider using in the upcoming series. Today we're discussing 10 good things the streaming service should use from The Last Airbender Movie. Stay tuned. Let's jump straight in then. We're talking filler. Of course, M. Night Shyamalan was roundly criticized for his take on the series, but he did manage to cram 19 episodes worth of content into 2 hours, which meant there was a welcomed lack of filler in the 2010 film. After the film dropped, most realized that a film format doesn't lend itself well to something like ATLA, as it can too often skip over the time characters spend with each other. But there were criticisms that the original series had just a little too much of this. A healthy balance could be found in the upcoming series, but we would err on the Shyamalan side of things as opposed to including too much repetitive filler, as it can simply cause fans to lose attention. Let us know what you think about this one below. Next up, we're talking the visuals and CGI. One of the things the 2010 film did get right was the authenticity of the firebending and waterbending. Of course, there were those who said that compared to other big-budget fantasy movies of the day, ATLA was a little underwhelming, but where the element bending was concerned, the film got it spot on. We would like to see Netflix improve on the earthbending aspect this time around. However, as that was one of the big disappointments, we're sure they've taken this into account. If King Boomy makes an appearance in the first season, which most fans hope he will, then this would give the show ample chance to make up for the shoddy earthbending featured in the movie. Do you guys think we will see King Boomy in the first season? We're talking diversity next. Stick around. Of course, a story set in Asia should probably have a cast that mainly features Asian actors. The original movie came in for a spot of criticism due to the overuse of white actors, but they did include a relatively diverse cast in other roles. What we must remember is that 2010 was a very different world to 2022, so we can probably expect to see a much more diverse cast this time around, which everybody can probably agree is a good thing. So far, the actors named by Netflix to appear in the show all have their roots in Asian or Native American cultures, which is a big step forward. Katara and Sokka will be played by Coentia Tarbell and Ian Owsley, who are both indigenous actors, while Suki will be portrayed by Chinese actress Maria Zhang. Great to see. What do you guys think? Location next. One of the most impressive things about the film was the sets. The fact that the locations were believable and didn't look like a green screen allowed fans to fully immerse themselves in the ATLA world, even if the story wasn't actually the best. The lighting also appears to be real too, as opposed to simply coming from overhead lamps, adding to the authenticity. Nowhere is this better exemplified than in the home of the Northern Water Tribe, which is superbly brought to light by the set designers. It seems as though no detail has been spared, and if Netflix can manage to replicate this in the upcoming show, they should be onto a winner. What did you guys make of the set locations for the 2010 film? We have the airbending tattoos now. Don't go anywhere. As you probably noticed from the movie, Aang's tattoos are a lot more detailed than we saw in the original animated series, except of course for his back. If Netflix can manage to incorporate Aang's iconic look with the detail of the film, but with a little more simplicity than we saw in the series, then they will have gotten it spot on. Another good thing the film did was Aang's glow. Netflix would do well to animate the tattoos with plenty of open skin around them so that the viewer can see the detailed patterns clearly when our hero activates his avatar. While Aang's tattoos are a big part of his identity, they're also the reason for his being. So hopefully when Aang is brought to life once more, Netflix won't do him the injustice of skipping over his tattoos. What do you guys think? The fight scenes are up next. Whilst the fight scenes from the movie are pretty well done in parts, it's pretty obvious that the actors aren't well versed in martial arts. Of course, Aang actor Noah Ringer was a black belt in Taekwondo, but the rest of the cast were relative novices. The Netflix version has apparently decided to double down on including actors who were trained in martial arts after seeing how well this worked with Ringer, and no fewer than 3 of the main cast are reportedly familiar with various martial arts, which is certainly encouraging. If Netflix are able to find the right blend of CGI with the techniques the actors are familiar with, then they could potentially have a huge visual hit on their hands. What do you guys most looking forward to about the upcoming series? And now we're talking costume design. Stay with us. Of course, the movie didn't get every costume right, but when they did in a big way. The military-style outfits we saw from the Fire Nation and the excellent fur coats the Water Tribe were rocking are just a couple of examples of costumes done well. They also managed to get the colors of each country right, which Netflix would do well to carry on with. However, we saw Aang somewhat inexplicably wearing a canvas gi in Shyamalan's movie, so we would like it if he could get back to the Tibetan-style monk robes we saw him wearing in the animated series. We would also like to see the Inuit-style tribe have a little more pizzazz about it, which we believe would show them in their natural state a little better. What did you guys make of the movie's costumes? We're talking promotional hype next. As we know, the film didn't quite live up to expectations from the original animated series, but that doesn't mean Paramount Pictures didn't do its best at marketing the product. There were all sorts of promotional events and even sneak peek trailers and other bits and pieces to keep fans guessing in the build-up to the film's release. And we would like to see all of that return in the lead-up to the live-action show. As we know, filming is already wrapped, so whenever Netflix decides to drop their first-look promotional material won't be too soon, in our opinion. They haven't been backwards in coming forward about casting choices and other details, but we are still waiting for our first look at any actual filming material from the show. Are you guys excited about this one? Next up, it's the props. While most industries around the world are trying to move away from using animal products these days, fans would still like to see the Inuit-style tribe using props that closely resemble the things and animals they use in their daily lives. This could mean using faux bones for Sokka's boomerang, among other things, and Aang's glider should also be given the due care and attention it deserves. While the original series didn't particularly go into detail with the props, the Netflix show should carry on the trend incorporated by the 2010 film and give the props the respect fans will be hoping for. I mean, there are tons of props used in this story, so why not go all out on this aspect? What did you guys make of the props from Shyamalan's film? Not bad, right? And finally, we're talking about the music. Another thing the movie got right was the score. Whilst other aspects of the film were roundly criticized, and rightly so, the same cannot be said for the score. And James Newton Howard, the composer, was also nominated for a string of minor awards, winning the ASCAP Award. As of yet, there is no word on who will score the upcoming series, but fans will undoubtedly hope they take a leaf out of Howard's book and do this series justice. It would be advisable for whoever is in charge of music this time out to stick closely to what the film did, as this could be seen as a good way of linking back to the original. Of course, they could choose to go a completely different route, but that would be a mistake in our opinion. What did you guys think about the music from the 2010 film? As always, thanks for stopping by today, and remember to tune in again next time for some more fun updates. And also, why not do us a big favor by liking today's video, as well as sharing it with any The Last Airbender fans you might have lurking on those socials. Bye guys!